Okay, fine. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Hi, Zen.
Hello.
Hi, Vox. Hi, Marky Mark. Hello, hello, hello. So, we were just talking about food. I had a taco salad for dinner. Zen had pizza.
Okay, so again, I just woke up, so pizza, cheese sticks, oh hey, and then French fries. Thank you.
What an immaculate timing of delivery there.
Yeah.
Something to pass the time while I procrastinate. Are you procrastinating making the dress, Vox? Because oh yeah, I think you did mean that while you sew. When do you need that done? In 2 days, right? The 24th? Is it? That's Wednesday, right? No, not me.
Wednesday? Thursday?
Thursday's the 25th, so yeah, 24th. Friday. You need it done Friday. You have time, but also, like, you could have it done and enjoy the rest of your week to do whatever. Eat a lot of food. Whatever people do.
Also, Braden was like best boy today.
Oh.
I brought them with me to do groceries. And I did not realize that the person that was putting the groceries in the trunk of my car had decided to stick their hand through the narrow slit in my window that I had left open for them to sniff the air and was touching Raiden's head.
Oh.
At which point I immediately whipped around and was like, oh no, he doesn't do petting. Please take your hand out of there. And then, like, he pulled his hand out and then Raiden growled at him. And I'm like, you're a lucky man.
Yeah. Who fucking does that? Like,
apparently the Kroger I go to.
you never just go and touch someone's dog. Like, that's... Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Bane, I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Pet her. What's she gonna do? Pee? But like Raiden, it's like, dude, he's old, he has seizures, he's achy and sick all the time. Like, don't pet him.
He's a big, strong dog. Like, it'll hurt. So Wednesday's a great deadline. Yes, your deadline's Wednesday, Vox. Get the dress done. Pizza, cheese sticks, and fries. I only had taco salad. For lunch, though, I had Cheetos.
Ooh, Cheetos.
Which is... That's what I've eaten today.
Look at us,
my taco
healthy
salad
people.
thankfully had veggies. What?
Look at us, healthy people.
I know.
I got 2 heads of lettuce sitting in the fridge right now.
My taco salad obviously had lettuce and tomato and peppers. So, some vegetables are better than none, I guess.
Alex, just checking. You can actually hear Dino this time, right? It's like, I watch it, and your bar goes up and down, but apparently...
it doesn't pick up well.
Twitch was just like, fuck you. Hey, Lukey.
Hi, Lukey. Do you guys like our picture of Amanda and Dwight?
Yeah, it's great.
We independently picked out the same picture.
I'm sorry, dear. I can't tell Twitch to stop giving you ads.
Your Tamagotchi is asleep.
Oh, good. Maybe it's like comatose, like on its way to death.
No.
I don't know. Oh wait, hold on. Let me bring him down a little bit. His bar. Okay, he's not dead yet. He's doing good. He's fine.
Okay.
He's not dead, but probably on the way.
She's holding him so sensually.
Tweet's about to get that sweet bacon rasher.
Hello, Nixie. Welcome. Man, I love this. As soon as I saw it, I was like, well, that's the picture I'm using.
Yeah.
Obviously. We love Amanda. Actually, you know what? I love Amanda in the game, but now that we've watched the movies, specifically the third movie, I don't like her anymore. Like, John Kramer had a clear vision of what he wanted. Okay? And I'm not going to say it was a good vision, but it was a vision, and she ruined that.
He had
Also, is the biggest
rules.
domestic boop. She 100% is. Yeah, he had his rules, and Amanda just didn't. So, speaking of, for those who are new here today, this is DeadTalk, where Zen and I spend a half hour talking about anything. Then, like 15, 20 minutes talking about the killer backstory. And then the next 2 hours, we go through all of the survivors. And we make up a movie scenario and how they would die.
It's like, this one's going to be a little bit harder, though, because there's multiple factors.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like different traps people could be in. You're gonna love the one I thought of for Meg.
Okay.
Her little square at school and she gets pallet stunned is so cute, though.
Yeah.
I always feel bad. The swamp man just dies because he is a swamp man. Wait, who's swamp man?
You're not
he
getting
had his
this
rules
food.
and she did. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy.
Scooch
Are you
pooch.
gonna delve into movie 3 traps or strictly 1 and 2? So I was actually like trying to think of my own traps, not specifically anything from the movies. Quentin, not our handsome boy.
Oh, we have things we have to contemplate here, because there's like there's like a an instance of like individual traps like we see mostly in the first one, and obviously
Yes.
the second one, the traps are designed for specific people, whether or not they actually get them or not. Or like later on down the line, we start getting more group traps, like people have to work cooperatively.
And like the later movies and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a little
I
bit
didn't
neat
make it that far.
in the third one, where I mean, he technically could have had a full party at the end
Oh, that's true.
if he wasn't a moron. But you know,
Quentin was never handsome. He looked like a drowned rat originally. I'm gonna cry. I hate that movie. I hate that movie so much. But I love Quentin and he's so precious.
he is.
That's fair. Plus, we obviously will need a group trap of some kind to just get rid of a lot of them.
Yeah.
To just cull the herd, so to speak.
Honestly, it might just be easier to do kind of a Saw 2 kind of setup.
Oh, we're in there. They're like in the house.
They're all together, and then
Okay.
we can kind of have the dynamics going there.
That would be really interesting. Imagine being crammed in a house with 24 other people.
I don't think there's going to be 24 people.
Oh?
Yeah. But we'll get to that.
Okay. So we want to do the backstory. I think it's my turn, right?
I think we combined forces on the last one, because we like had a week and then we both didn't really rewatch Stranger Things at all.
Kind of collabed.
We really, the Stranger Things version, we did not have a lot of focus on demo. Just shit was happening to people around them.
True. That is true.
So,
Hi, I'm Nixie. I like to bash Quentin because he's bashful. I will protect Quentin. Hi, I'm Dino, and I love Quentin.
we can also divide it up based on movies. So you could do like movie 1, Where's Amanda? And then I could do movie 2, Where's Amanda? And the movie 3, Where's Amanda?
Okay. And then you can do a short recap of what happens after movie 3 because I don't know anything.
It doesn't matter. Listen,
Okay.
as far as everything's concerned, the movie ended after 3 until Spiral happened. Just nothing good happens after 3.
I do need to like binge through all of them now that like before I get rid of my stars that I only plan to have for 1 month because I already finished watching the show that I got it for.
Let me just say, don't. You know how there's like a storyline going on in like 1, 2, and 3? It's just they just kind of call it quits on that part.
That's fine.
And it's just gore, but worse.
Oh, you haven't seen Quentin since the update? No, he's hot now, actually. He's a handsome boy.
There's only like one part that I was like, oh, I actually kind of like this, and that was a group trap where it actually would have worked out better if everybody worked together. But you know, people are assholes.
People never work together.
No,
ever.
Nope.
People are very, especially in a life or death situation. People get very survivalist, and I can't rely on anyone but myself about it. So. Unlucky for them.
Yep.
I need coffee.
And then obviously,
I'm so tired.
John and Amanda are kind of like not even there. I mean, there's like a whole section that goes on John's backstory, but John's not in it. So it's like, why the fuck are we bothering?
Because he's, spoiler alert, dead.
Yeah. It's just kind of like each new movie has like a new bad guy because I want to be the apprentice. No, I want to be the apprentice. No, I'm the true follower of John. I was like, could you just fuck off? And then one of them is supposed to be
the Church of John Kramer.
Yeah. One of them is supposed to be 3D, and you can really tell it's supposed to be in 3D. And it's, oh my God. Legit,
like, there's just like everything flies at the screen, but you're watching from home.
And because like I was a big Saw fan, I've seen everything in the theater except for Spiral. I watched Spiral at home. So I actually saw 3D in the theaters, and it was horrible. And I'm one of those people that eats the popcorn while I'm watching too. So when you're like, I can't imagine eating, I'm just like, I remember past me just like.
I don't even remember what it was. There was literally a moment in 3 that I gagged and something came up, and I was like,
Was it the pig part where they're just like putting pigs through a chute?
I don't remember. I honestly, whatever it was, I fully have erased it from my mind.
I will not bring up the traps to pinpoint it then.
Nixie has taken back the bashing of Quentin and has acknowledged that he is in fact hot now. Gone are the days of the sexy Squidward face. Wasn't it pig slime or... Yeah! Wait, no! It was the guy in the vat.
See, I mentioned that, and I put it in a much nicer way, and it didn't bring up the memories, but there goes your chat just making you dry heave.
Because it was the part where, like, when it was coming up, and he, like, opened his mouth and someone in.
Yeah.
I can't. I literally, like, half of that movie, I was just like, okay, anyway, I'm just gonna, like, not listen to it.
By the way, if you
over here watching in silence.
If you do any Saw movies, like, again, just pretend everything else is non-existent, because it's literally just gore porn. Spiral is a bit of a return to form. So okay. I would just ignore everything else.
And go straight for Spiral?
Go straight for Spiral.
Okay, excuse me as I vomit. Yeah, same. Oh, God. It was just like, I was fine while he was in it, but then he opened his mouth and... That's when I tapped out. like mentally, I checked out of that movie until the end where the guy showed up and found John. I don't remember anything between then and the end. Yeah. Okay, so recap. So Saw 1. What happens? We're in the bathroom. There's a heart on the toilet tank that I specifically checked for the next day we played Dead by Daylight, and it is there in the game. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So the two dudes are in the bathroom. One's the doctor. One's been spying on the doctor. That was like a whole plot twist in the end. The doctor was actually John Kramer's doctor, who John has a terminal illness, cancer or a tumor,
I think it was
or
a
something.
tumor, a brain tumor.
He's dying, and so he decides that he just wants to test humanity at their failings. So I'm not gonna lie, I actually forget what their test was. But
one of them was supposed to cut off their foot and leave. There's something with a key, but Amanda kind of put it in a really bad spot and it just went down the fucking drain.
Yeah, she put it in the bathtub, and so he unplugged the bathtub when he got out, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And then the doctor actually did saw off his foot. His family was being held hostage by the orderly that worked at the hospital that he was like a dick to. And the orderly was having his own test done of, if the doctor fails, you have to kill him. Or you have to kill both of them, actually, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
God. It's been like 3 months since we've watched it.
Yeah.
I have a terrible memory. The whole movie is just like them kind of learning about each other and themselves. And in the end, they learned that the greatest thing in life is friendship or something.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story.
And then the doctor kills the guy that was spying on him. I remember that part. And then saws his leg. But it's after 6 p.m. His family doesn't die. His wife actually like fought the guy, right?
Yeah.
But then he leaves to go kill the doctor and the guy. Does he actually kill the guy and the doctor didn't?
I think he just dies in there.
That's right, they just left him.
Yeah.
That was worse. That was worse. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, they just like literally, because the doctor just got up and like closed the.
No, he didn't. He didn't close it.
Turned the lights off and closed the door.
No, he didn't close the door. It was John when John got up.
Oh, that's right. Because that was a moment of like there was a dead body with them the whole time. It turns out it was actually just John Kramer. Mm-hmm. I guess meanwhile, during all of this, we have Detective Tapp and Hot Cop, who have found a crime scene where there was a person with a jigsaw piece missing from their body. And they were like, it's the Jigsaw serial killer. What? How did that guy die?
I mean, there were a couple of them. The one was in just barbed wire, and he just fucking bled out.
Yeah. The spy had to poison the doctor with John's blood because it would eventually kill him. I don't know. I remember they stuck a cigarette in the blood. Right. Because he put the cigarette in the blood. They tried to, like, trick them into letting them out. Because he was like, here, let me dip the cigarette in the blood. Now it's poisoned. You smoke the other cigarette, pretend to die. And then he got electrocuted to test that he was actually dead. He wasn't, so of course he screamed, and their cover was blown. Terrible actor, honestly. Commit to the role. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess Amanda first shows up in this. That's who we're here to talk about.
Yeah. This is her first solo film, for fuck's sake. We have to talk about Amanda.
Oh, great. Yeah. So Amanda, we first meet her at like the police station because she's being interviewed because she had escaped the Jigsaw killer, because she woke up somewhere with a reverse bear trap on her head and a guy lying off to the side of the room. And she realized that she had to cut him open to get the key out of the bear trap, or to get the key out to take the reverse bear trap off. And she removed it dramatically at the last second, as we all love to do in Dead by Daylight. And it's pretty much all you learn about her in the first one, is that she's a survivor of the Jigsaw killer.
Yep.
Then you get into
the only one.
Yeah, that's true. She's the only person to ever survive his tests. And then when you go into the second one, then we get Donnie?
I don't remember.
Donnie Wahlberg. It was Donnie Wahlberg and Hot Cop. I don't remember her name. She's just Hot Cop from now on. So Donnie is divorced. He lives in a sad divorced dad apartment and has a terrible relationship with his son, who gets kidnapped and thrown into a house where there is gas that's just leaking into the house, and everybody in there will slowly be dying because it's like a neurotoxin, and
Yes.
they have to work together to find a way out, but they're really bad at working together, and they all have dark secrets. Lo and behold, who's also there? Amanda.
You know, it's either not gas or they've already been cured, because everybody's coughing except for Amanda and the kid throughout the entire movie. And nobody, like, none of the people in the house actually noticed that they're the only two not suffering from any of the effects there.
You know what? You're right. I didn't even realize.
It was rigged from the start, guys.
Well, now I take back every opinion I have about Amanda and Saw 3. Because if it was rigged, then that means that John was also not playing his own game fairly, right?
Well, he did say that the kid would not be hurt. And he made sure that the kid wasn't hurt. Amanda's job was to make sure that the kid didn't get hurt. She wasn't getting retested. She was just there to make sure that the kid got through. Which is why she wasn't poisoned as well.
Okay.
And you don't really... We didn't see any traps that were meant for either of them throughout that, did we?
No.
Because there was no cure needed for either of them.
Yeah, no, there wasn't anything specifically for them. Vox says, but the son looks like he's dying at the end. I think he did look weak, but to Zen's point, like, everyone else was, like, coughing and passing out.
I think at that point, like, stress. Everybody's dying. There's a guy coming to try and kill them. He's scared. Like, he's got this one person that's been taking care of him the whole time, and they're like, this guy's obviously coming to get him. So
because he was malnourished, because he was confined in the safe. That's true too. Yeah. He was trapped in the safe for like a whole ass day.
Yeah. Which again, John was right. If you just wait here,
follow the rules.
But no, don't follow the rules.
Donnie Wahlberg's gotta play big. But that's when we find out that Amanda's actually like working for/with John.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, Donnie actually like finds himself in that bathroom.
Yeah.
Where that guy was left to rot. And it ends with the what I can only imagine, and I'm actually like, this is a cinematic moment that I'm sad I wasn't on board with Saw back when it first came out, because I can only imagine how awesome it was to sit in the theaters and watch Amanda show up and be the one to close the door in that last shot. Like, that had to have been so cool to experience.
It
like,
was.
yeah. And I'm kind of jealous of you. But that's when it's like, it's revealed that, you know, she's actually not a victim of the Jigsaw killer, but a survivor and apprentice.
Yeah.
So then Saw 3.
Yay.
Amanda makes the traps.
Yeah, he's kind of like letting her spread her wings and do her own thing, except you know, not really following the rules. She's kind of like, she knows people that she doesn't want to get out of the traps, and she makes sure that they're not getting out of the traps for whatever reason. Some of them do. Some of them are fine. But she's got a grudge against some of these fuckers. And she's just like, you know what?
Hot cop.
Yeah. She's like, oh, no. Wouldn't it be a shame if you didn't get out even after you stuck your hand in acid? Oh, no.
And the doctor lady that they kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And how she was just like, I don't know why she wanted her dead so bad, but she wanted her dead.
She was getting jealous. Because John wanted her specifically. She was special to him. And she wanted to be special to him. But he was being like low-key pissed at her for, you know, rigging some of these traps, and he knew it.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't like having an adult conversation with her. He wanted to like, well, I guess we need to retest you. And, you know.
She failed her own test. Well, not her own test. She failed his last test.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a shame. She could have really been something.
Mm-hmm. I wish she would have passed. It probably would have fixed the rest of the series.
It wouldn't have been as dramatic. Nah, but for real though, like, she obviously had some really creative traps. So
yeah, and
she had some good ones.
It showed how strong she is physically, and that she has like, she's learned a lot of engineering shit.
Yes,
because she had to set up a bunch of the traps for John, so she had to snag and bag and drag these fuckers into position by herself.
And do, like, if some of them involved surgery, she had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember which movie it was, but there was one where the guy had, like, the key hidden behind his eye.
Yeah.
For something. I don't think that was one of hers. I think that was the first movie, but still.
It's like, I don't even know how to get that out of my own eyeball. I don't know.
I can't even put contacts in. I would be dead. Like, I draw the line at eye shit.
It's like, well, guess I'll die. Why can't I have the hand and acid part? Like, I can do that part. It's like, some of them I'm like, I'll make it out of that one fine. Dude on the ground need to get a key out of his intestines? It says he's dead. I'll believe it. I don't care that he's blinking, whatever. Stick your hand in acid? Got that. Did that in 2nd grade to get some of this stuff off my hand. We're good here. Like, already got the scars from it. We're good. But the eye one, it's like, shit.
That one, and then the guy that had, like, the hooks in him. Well, not really hooks, but, like, rings.
Yeah.
You had to, like, rip his skin off to get out.
I was like, okay, that's, like, kind of a quick go, but the one that was, like, hooked underneath and around his jaw, I'm like, how?
You have to break your jaw.
Like, half of these people, like, I know there's adrenaline, but half of these people are probably, like, about ready to, like, they're gonna pass out from, like, either pain or blood loss.
Right.
Although there was one, I think it might have been the jaw one, because I think that was when they had to escape the exploding jars of nails. There's actually, like, a how to escape each saw trap, which I really enjoyed watching that. If he got, like, certain ones pulled off, he was actually able to maneuver to a part of the room and pull the table, and would have survived it without putting any of the hooks out, and would have just, you know, been able to wait for somebody to come get him. But
anybody ever came to get him?
I mean, they did eventually.
But yeah, that Vox, that was definitely rigged because of the jaw thing. Because the only way you could do it, it would be like ripping your jaw off.
Yeah.
To like, it's not going to come out. Um, and then the eyeball thing, wasn't that 3D? I don't think so because I remember seeing it.
I'm pretty sure there's another one in 3D. I mean, there's no way they're missing that opportunity.
To have someone's eyeball just splurt at the camera.
I mean, if it tells you anything about the quality, there's one where somehow a trap was set up in the middle of a busy town square. Nobody noticed it. Police weren't sus. There were no permits.
People are like in the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was two guys and a girl, and then the two guys realized that the girl was cheating on both of them. And they both like talked it over and were like, we're just gonna let this bitch die. And it's like, really, that's what you're gonna do in the middle of this situation? You're gonna be like, what, let's just let this bitch die. Yeah.
Men.
Like, it's unrealistic because they just like, they got very calm at that point. And it's like, okay, you're both in a box trying to pull each other's faces into a saw blade. And then you guys have a time for a heart-to-heart while all the people surrounding you are just sitting there taking pictures. Nobody noticed this thing going up. Nobody went to scope it out because there were no permits. You know that fucking city councils are going to be on top of that shit. Somebody's getting fined. Nobody even peeked under the goddamn curtain. Like, there's no way. And then they're like, what, let's just go ahead and kill her. And they went ahead and killed her and just like, and it was 3D everywhere. And it's like, that's the kind of quality shit you've got after Saw 3. Just so you know.
I do want to watch the rest. So I'll probably binge them sometime in the next couple weeks. And then I'll be texting you and be like, I just threw up. Here's what happened.
You can always do what I did with when I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh, where I just fast forwarded through all the card games to get to the story part. You just fast forward through all the traps and then go out the end.
I never thought of fast forwarding through Yu-Gi-Oh.
I hated the card game. I thought it was stupid. So every time I'd watch Yu-Gi-Oh, I would just zip right through the card game, pop out at the end, and see what,
You know what?
There was no plot in that part. God damn it. And anything that was plot, they fucking talk through it at the end. When you get to the end, they're like, oh, well, let me tell you how I pulled that off. And then they just fucking recap the damn thing. I missed nothing. Nothing.
You know how I shit on Pokemon all the time?
Yeah.
I really loved Yu-Gi-Oh!
Of course.
And I was good at the game. I was so good.
See, I went and watched in Japanese, so instead of pointing fingers at each other, they had guns.
I'm sorry, I had to watch it on the WB. Okay. I'm 5 years younger than you.
I watched it in, like, the late 2000s. Like, somebody lent me their DVD, and they're like, how did you finish it so fast? I'm like, I skipped the games. I just went to the end where they described how they did it, so I didn't have to watch the rest of this shit. Found out one of the kids was like a real perv. Like, they were just like looking up this girl's skirt through part of it. And I'm like, what is it like in the US? And they're just like, this is really sucking having to climb up here. Hee hee hee. Yeah, it really does suck. Hee hee hee. Whereas on the other side, the guy's like, oh yeah, look at those panties. She's like, don't you fucking look up my skirt, you asshole. Just like, oh yeah, this is much better.
Well, so I was only like 12. I couldn't watch the Japanese version. What I do remember is I played against my brother a lot, but I would always go into his deck and steal his good cards so he couldn't use them against me. Because I'm a mean big sister.
See,
He would just be like, where's my blue eyes white dragon? And I'd be like, I don't know. Anyway, here's mine.
I played the adult game of Magic the Gathering. Thank you very much.
I've never played Magic. You both have concerned me tonight. Lukey, we don't need your criticism. Okay? It's Monday. The week has just started. I mean, come on. Hold off until at least Wednesday.
Listen, I didn't come for the cards. I came for the drama.
My face hurts from laughing, by the way. I'm gonna go put myself in a salt trap. I hope you're both happy. Make it a good one. Be creative.
It's just a thirst trap for Sedokaiba. What are you talking about? The fact that I even remember that guy's name.
Okay. So, dead talk, though.
Yeah.
Let's get into a movie scenario. I need to pull up the actual doc.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Stay right there.
This is obviously taking place at the Gideon Meat Factory.
Yes.
Plant. Meat plan. Arby's has spoken. Anyway. Okay. Focus. As for First Dead, the only one that I could think of, a trap that I actually really liked, was Meg. So I wouldn't mind her. Well, I actually thought of one for Ace that I really liked too, but it's more of a mid-movie kind of a thing. But Meg was one. And for Last Survivor, the one who could actually probably make it out to me is Ash.
Yeah, Ash was high on my list. For Last Survivors, I actually had Claudette and Adam because I don't think they would even end up getting to participate.
Oh, is that what you're talking about? Like, we could just go through the list and see, like, who wouldn't...
Yeah, because I was, like, looking through, I'm like, what did these fuckers do to piss off Amanda? Dwight's whole thing where he made his, like, supervisor hallucinate. Meg was pissing off all of her teammates. Claudette has done nothing. Claudette has minded her own business.
I have a clip on my channel that proves you wrong.
Listen, that's a player, not Claudette the person. And Adam was like a sweetheart throughout his entire life. He tried to save somebody in a fucking, like, train crash. Like, Adam and Claudette are out clean. Like, there's nothing.
Okay. Let's run through the list of survivors and just take out whoever would not be in here. We'll do a weird order of, like, listing them at the top so we don't have to worry about them. So you said Claude?
Yeah, Claude and Adam, because Claudette, legit, she just likes plants. She likes being by herself. She hasn't done anything to anybody. Adam hasn't done anything to anybody, and he actively tried to save somebody as a train was crashing with him in it. Like, he hasn't done anything. Neither of them have done anything to anybody.
Okay. Jake.
Jake has pissed off his entire family because he just kind of pieced out on him, so...
He did.
Nia, we don't need to say anything about Nia. She's fucking in there. You know, she, like, probably, like, spray painted Jigsaw suck somewhere.
Fuck John Kramer.
Yeah.
Plant.
She's in there.
Lori,
we could literally just be like, she didn't believe anybody about Myers, which meant that a lot of people died unnecessarily.
She's responsible.
So Ace, I mean...
Yeah.
Bill's been in wars. Bill's in there. Fung got hooked on alcohol and shit. David picks fights with everybody. Quentin, I get the feeling like Quentin stole some pills and shit, so I'm sure that would go somewhere. Tap's a no-brainer. Tap's in there because she's just pissed at him.
Kate? Kate's pretty clean.
Hang on, let me pull up Kate, because I know she's done stupid shit.
But it's always been, like, stupid shit to her. Like, going and exploring places she shouldn't, but she's never, like... It's not like Elodie, who's, like, stealing cultural artifacts, right? Like Kate's
Yeah.
just like exploring, and then suddenly there's the entity, and she's like, "I shouldn't be here," and then she crawls back out. Like,
Okay, yeah, we'll let Kate go. Kate's pretty clean. She's stupid, but not piss off Amanda stupid. Adam's
Jeff,
clean. Jeff, I think he isn't he an alcoholic? He smells like beer.
he was and suicidal.
Well, so was Amanda.
I know.
Sorry, Jeffrey.
What if they bond and become best friends? Jane is
Didn't she struggle where like people were trying to give her like stereotypical roles and she took a couple before she kind of like
I was thinking more about like, didn't she get her mom killed?
I don't know. Jane's in there, whatever.
I don't know what Ash did, but Ash is definitely in there
Yeah,
because he
there's
has to survive.
honest to God, like Ash just met her on the street one day and she's just like she just put him on the list. Nancy and Steve are both going down for Barb.
Oh God, you're right.
Um
Yui gangsta shit.
to be fair though, Yui didn't really do anything bad other than just making what was it, her grandpa mad or something like that? Her parents somebody pissed her off.
But then that would be same as Jake.
All right.
So I mean, we can take both Yui and Jake out. That's less survivors for us to have to deal with.
Yeah, but like her grandpa, like or whoever, just kind of disowned her. Jake's family is trying to get him to come home,
That's fair. So
and
Yui's on the list.
and Yui like after she does a lot for the community, so I think Yui's actually safe. Okay. That and like I appreciate that Amanda is very strong, but good fucking luck.
Zarina is.
She breaks into all kinds of shit to get stories. She's going.
But with good intent.
Yeah, but you know, she probably did a story on the Jigsaw Killer, and you know, it pissed her off. So,
okay, Cheryl.
I mean, with all the shit that's happened to Cheryl, you can just kind of like assume that she's just gonna be picked up. Like, like Amanda looked at her and was like, you know what? I just got a feeling like I need to bring you in.
Felix.
Felix, he keeps talking about how he doesn't deserve where he's been. Like it's the connections, not his actual skill. So he's definitely gonna be in there because he doesn't deserve what he's getting. Elodie is probably get flack for being partially responsible for their parents. Yunjin, I mean, honest to fucking God, Yunjin's in there. Jill and Leon are both, police. Amanda's not super fond of them. And Michaela was fucking around with shit she shouldn't have fucked around with. So Claude, Adam, Kate, and Yui are safe because they didn't fucking do anything.
And the rest of these, we're going to toss them into a house?
Yep.
All right. What are the stakes? Like they had the gas thing that they had to get out of before.
I mean, it's not always like that. That was just I don't know. They have other group ones, and it's just everybody has to work cooperatively together to get out, or one person really has to shoulder it. So.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you so 2 traps that I actually thought of?
Okay.
So 1, Ace, gambling addiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he has, I don't know, some weird trap of like, maybe there's a bomb strapped to him or something. But he has to place bets on who he thinks will actually survive. And if he's wrong,
there's actually one like that later on in the series.
Oh, is there? Okay. So that's what I was thinking would be his. Of basically like his luck depends on the survival instincts of whoever he chooses. And as soon as they die, he dies.
Yeah, because there is a It was like a Russian roulette situation, I think. But they were all like gambling addicts. And the guy's like, okay, you gotta fire these shots. You have to go through the whole gun. And so he was like interviewing all of them to try and figure out who he wants to fire the shot at. And then he would fire the shot and be like, okay, well, you're safe. And that person's just like, oh, thank fuck. Just going through. And they were all gambling addicts. So, you know, Russian roulette, here we go.
Oh. I do like the idea of Russian roulette, too. The other one, Meg. So, you know the Disney movie Aladdin?
Yeah.
You know when Jafar traps Jasmine in an hourglass? And there's just sand burying her?
Uh-huh. Hey, Max.
So I thought, with all the sandbagging... the movie opens up. Meg.
First dead.
Trapped in an hourglass.
There's no one to throw the sand at, Meg. What are you going to do now?
That was all I came up with.
So she'd probably have to like. She'd probably have to take her like her own foot or something. I don't know.
It can be one of those things that just has no escape to it. It's just ticking away.
We're doing DeadTalk. We take one of the killers each week, and then we make up a horror movie situation with all of the survivors to see who would make it. And this week is the pig. Yeah, I could see like with Meg's whole backstory being that she was like a fucking track star, but it was like an overnight thing. And then obviously ripping a piece of a cop's tire off. Yeah, just find out that Amanda was on that track team. She got bumped. Meg's not getting out now. Oh, God.
All right. So the others, we need to put them in some traps.
I was gonna say, the reason I thought Ash would win is just because he's taken his own fucking hand off before.
That was my exact thought. I was like, that man will quite literally do anything. He's killed his girlfriend, right? Like,
yeah.
He killed his girlfriend. He chopped his hand off.
He has no problems with like opening somebody's body up and taking whatever it is out of there.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Ash has what it takes to survive any jigsaw trap.
Well, Max, that's what we've read through the lore of all of the survivors, so you don't have to. We have already decided that Claudette, Adam, Kate, and Yui they've done nothing to warrant getting brought into this by the pig. Like they're fucking clean. So
I think since we did just talk about demo, maybe it's just fresh on my mind, and you mentioned it also. We could start off Steve and Nancy, responsible for Barb's death.
Do we want to have everybody in together from this point on?
We could. I'm just trying to think of like different traps for people.
Because like, one of my favorite traps that it's so easy to get out of is it's a key trap.
Is it the one where the girl was stupid and
no
put both her hands in it? Okay.
No. Okay, so which funny thing, we can just do this to Quentin too. So everybody starts chained against a wall. And when everybody like wakes up, the tape plays and they're like, okay, the only way you're going to make it through this is to work together. Because certain people have some slack on their chains. And if you work together, then you just, one person at a time runs out, grabs their key, comes back, unchains themselves, and the next person goes out, and so on and so forth, and then they would all be fine. With one of the people still being asleep, Quentin, I mean, you know that if she knocks somebody out and Quentin is out cold, he's not getting up for a while.
Yeah, no. As soon as he has a chance to sleep.
She's probably had to hit him with, like, elephant tranquilizers. So they have, and essentially the wall opens up, so, like, there's, you know, grindy shit. And if they all went one at a time, then they'd all get the keys, they'd all be good. But obviously, some people fucking panic. And then everybody starts pulling and everybody starts panicking. And then since there's not enough slack for everybody, then some people get pulled into the grinder. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So are you imagining all of the survivors except for Meg and the other 4?
Yeah.
Are all chained up right now?
Yeah.
And we can just eliminate some.
Yeah.
Do we want to roll like a d20 to say how many we're going to eliminate?
Well, let's think this through logically. So somebody is going to point out, like, this is how you do it. You know, they fucking listen to the tape. Let's just say, like, Zarina. Zarina's studied this shit.
True. She would be a good contender.
She's done stories on it, and she's like, listen, every time that there's a trap, there's a tape, and it tells you exactly how to beat it. If we follow the directions, we're all going to be fine. We just have to play by the rules. And everybody's like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll do this. You know, the person that's going to panic is Dwight.
No, I was thinking it was Yunjin.
I mean, Yunjin might do it just because she's kind of selfish.
I think, yeah. So, well, yeah, that was what I was thinking. It's like Yunjin's like, she would be like, me first. No, me first. Panic when she's not first. Fight off. Try to fight whoever is going first. And just like really sabotage everybody of she should be the safe one.
Which, if we're going with that route, I think Lori's probably going first. Because, I mean, I feel like Dwight and Jake probably have more strength than she does. Nia's at least got the thigh strength. She's got that urban evasion shit.
She's been doing squats for ages.
Yeah. Ace, Bill have some strength. Fung is kind of iffy because she's more on the esports side, so she might get dragged just because, you know, she's
also very tiny.
Yeah. David's gonna haul. Quentin's out cold. Quentin's going in the grinder. Tap's strong. Jeff's pretty strong. I feel like Jane's pretty strong. Ash is fine.
Nancy's gone.
Yeah, unless Steve grabs a hold of her and tries to, like, keep her. Like, Steve might be the reason she makes it out.
Okay, I'm good with that. Cheryl's gone.
Yeah.
She's a little waif.
So I feel like that would be the first wave.
Okay, let me list that out for me again.
It was
sure.
Lori, Fung, and Cheryl were the first ones to go. Because if they can hold out long enough, then they could be fine. So if Steve holds on to Nancy and keeps her from going in, which I think he might.
Y'all always kill my Fung. She survived the first movie, okay? She was the Huntress's favorite. I think Steve would quite literally let himself go in with her before he let her die.
Because once, like, 1 or 2 people get the keys, then they're going to get slack. And if 3 people go in the grinder, they're also going to get some slack.
That's fair, too.
So 3 people, they got enough slack and keys. The rest of them can get going. They've literally just killed half of our teen squad right here.
I know.
Oh, and Quentin, because he was sleeping.
Oh, that's right. Oh, man. Quentin.
The teen squad just obliterated.
It's only Steve and Nancy. Okay. I think you were Vox, but also it's been 19 episodes, so can't remember them all.
Let's see.
Um,
Let's pull up all the Saw traps in the franchise and see if we got any contenders.
Good idea. Saw traps. Ranking the 20 goriest traps in Saw. The Pendulum Trap.
Oh, yeah.
Public execution. That's the one you were telling me about, right?
Yeah. I love the 10 pints of sacrifice, but it's way too early for that.
Death Mask Saw 2. That's the one with the guy behind his... No. Razor wire, knife chair. Gross. The rack.
Oh, yeah. Some of these have the video game stuff.
Shotgun carousel.
Oh, yeah.
6 unlucky victims are chained to a rotating playground carousel. As the carousel turns, each victim is briefly positioned in front of a loaded shotgun. A 7th person is then forced to decide who lives and who dies.
Yep.
There's a creepy carnival-like flavor to this bizarre trap. In a way, it's like a game of Russian roulette, except the victims rotate rather than the bullets in the chamber of the gun. The fact that each victim gets a moment to confront the person who holds their life in his hands makes it even more disturbing. That's the one you were telling me about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if Ace is the decision maker?
Oh, God.
Do we want to put 6 people into the shotgun carousel?
Okay, so here's my thinking. If we put them into the shotgun carousel, let's just say they walk into the next room and it requires a volunteer for the shotgun carousel. Who would volunteer as tribute?
Like, they don't know what's about to happen. They just know, like, somebody's got to volunteer for something. They assume it's going to be death.
Yeah. I
Who's
think
the hero?
Bill. Bill and Tap.
I think Bill would do it before Tap.
Well, I need, like, multiple volunteers for it, don't they? Or we...
Wait. I was thinking of, like, volunteering. Okay, so what I imagined you meant was they go into a room, somebody has to volunteer, one person, right?
Mm-hmm.
They think that one person is going to be volunteering for death.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bill's just like, it'll be me.
Yeah.
Turns out he's actually the one that gets to decide the carousel. That's what I imagined.
Okay. So how many shots does the carousel have? Did you say it was 7?
6. Well, 6 people on the carousel.
Okay.
But I don't know how many... I think, well, a shotgun has at most 2 shots. But typically just 1.
Okay. So, let's just say that they all have to, like... They all have to line up and wait. So, Bill thinks he's going to go and die valiantly for everybody. Everybody lines up, and then he gets introduced to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the 6 people he's going to take a shot at? I feel like Ace is one of them.
Thinking that too. I was like, I don't know, should we randomize it?
Well, Bill's got to have some way of thinking. I think Tap would volunteer to be shot at.
Are they going to volunteer?
Tap would.
Or are they just going to be randomly picked? Because I feel like we could also go by, like, hold on, let me pull up Jane's backstory real quick. Because I really think she, like, killed her mom.
Bill's just, like, in a little container, and he's being read each person's backstory, what they did to deserve it.
See, until Loretta interrupted her, saying they were not actually related. Jane was driving to her father's house in New Jersey. And then she crashed. I don't remember. Maybe. I don't know. Her mom was an actress, but I guess maybe she didn't kill her mom. Maybe I'm misremembering. Okay. So I'm trying to think of like who. Obviously, like if they have to plead for their lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess if Tap would be like volunteering to kill, that ruins the suspense for it, because he would just be like, "I'll make it easy on you, kill me." Like, there's
Yeah,
not
but
really everybody's like fighting for their lives.
it would be like, okay, so everybody's making their case, and he has to shoot 6 people. But like, if Tap's like, all right, it's gotta be me, just pump him into me, and he takes one shot, and then like something comes down like bulletproof glass, he can't actually shoot Tap again.
Again,
Like if he's got 6 shots, like let's say it's like Russian roulette.
it's a shotgun though.
What if it's like multiple shotguns? I don't know. I'm trying to get like some sort of suspense in here. He's like, usually they're allowed to pick, and there's like sometimes a chance that it won't be them that gets blown apart. Or are you wanting to actually like have him shoot like 2 people and just have them go?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so he's gonna kill Tap. Let's just have like 2 or 3 shotguns.
Because I was thinking like, don't make it Tap because Tap's easy. Because Tap would just be like, yeah, obviously save a life, take mine.
What if it was a matter of he has to kill somebody, and then like that amount of body weight hits a scale, and he has to keep shooting people until the scale is full. So Tap volunteers, one because he's old, he's lived his life, and I'm heavy. I'll probably tip the scale on my own, but he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take somebody else other than Tap, at least.
So the logic here then is you want to try to get the heavier people.
Or the people that deserve it, you know?
To kill less.
And he's getting their stories based on what Amanda's telling them.
Okay. I don't want to lose Ash this early, but he's a big guy.
Listen, they can plead their case too. I mean, Ash can literally be like, listen, I cut my own arm off. You want me around. And Bill would probably be like, okay, that's fair.
Jeff's another bigger guy.
But also, again, he's going to hear their backstories, so he might just, like, we don't know how much of the scale needs to be tipped. So based on the stories, who would he throw down?
Dwight.
I think Jake would be safe. Nia's up in the air. Like, she might be a contender just because of a nuisance.
Mm-hmm. I think Ace.
Possibly David.
I think if they took out Dwight, the David Dwight ship, it's just too strong. David couldn't go on without him. And then you'd have another volunteer situation.
I think Jane would be fine. Ash would be able to talk his way out of it. Nancy and Steve would be okay, because I think, like, he would hear the story and be, like, tempted.
But he'd also acknowledge they're just kids.
Yeah, they're just kids, and Steve would probably be like, no, take me instead, and Bill wouldn't be able to fucking do that. I don't think he would go for Zarina. Maybe Felix, because he's kind of bougie. He probably has a lot of shit in his pockets, you know? Yunjin, I think, might actually be a contender.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know.
Because I actually would imagine it coming up to, like, okay, it's your turn, Yunjin, plead your case. And she's just like, I don't need to plead my case, you just shouldn't kill me. So I could see, we could probably take out Yunjin here.
Yeah, because, I mean, literally what she's, like, Amanda's just going to tell him, like, she helped a serial killer rise to power, and he's just like, BAP!
Okay, so we got Tap, we got Yunjin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do we want to go ahead and say Dwight and David?
I think Dwight would go. I don't know if he would throw David though.
Okay.
Do we want to take one more, or do we think that the carousel has run its course?
I would love to take one more.
One more? Okay.
So we're between. She said, I don't think like Felix being rich is the reason.
I think you would take Jeff. Jeff is bigger.
Yeah. And I mean, Jeff's wanted to die in the past, so it's
There you go.
now's your chance, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What other interesting? The scalping seat, the brazen bowl. Fire is occasionally used as a murder method. I don't. Oh, this is from 3D.
Oh God.
The
The
original
pound.
film-
I feel like Ash is just gonna win both the pound of flesh and the 10 pints of sacrifice.
What's pound of flesh?
They're given a scale, and they have to put X amount of flesh on the scale to get out. Nash would just be like, well, it's been good, other arm. He just turns around, just blood squirting out of the wound, like, all right, who else?
I'm okay with that, actually. What happens if they don't do it?
Well, then they have to extract some flesh.
What if Ash actually put on enough with just his one arm?
Oh my God.
And they just breeze right through that trap. Everyone else is just like, we really don't have to do anything. Like they're more scared that like nothing happened.
He's got enough belts on him. He just straps it on, tightens it, and he's like, with his other hand, y'all owe me. And every time they come up with any other trap, he's just like, arm.
I'm okay with this because he absolutely would. What's the subway trap? In the very first trap in Spiral.
Oh, don't read it. You'll get spoiled.
I don't care about spoilers. Have you watched the movie yet?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, I love it. It's Return to Form.
Spoilers for everyone who hasn't seen Spiral. Okay. Strung by his tongue in the middle of a subway tunnel. As a speeding train races towards him, he's forced to decide whether to leap from the platform he's standing on, thus ripping his own tongue from his mouth, or dangle in midair and let the oncoming subway train pulverize him.
Hey, Lord Solvivi. It's going good.
There's the angel trap, the razor box. She's so stupid. Pig that.
You okay?
Oh, no, I'm not. There was a picture of it. I didn't need to be reminded. We need some reverse bear traps at some point.
Yeah.
No, it's just an homage. Oh God, the needle pit. I remember that one. Okay. Horsepower traps. So 3D looks like it has some really cool traps. One of the most complex traps in the Saw series. This one involves 4 victims, so we have a multiplier here. In a filthy auto body garage, one victim is glued to the driver's seat of an El Camino, while another is strapped with barbed wire to a metal plate beneath the car's raised rear. A third victim is pierced with hooks and chained to the car's rear bumper, and a fourth is padlocked to a wall directly in front of the vehicle. If the victim in the driver's seat can rip himself free and pull a nearby lever in under 30 seconds, all 4 will survive. If he can't, the car will simultaneously kill all of them.
I also think that
I don't understand.
The oxygen crusher, I think that that would be one for Nancy and Steve.
What's the oxygen crusher?
So, two people are hooked up to machines, and every time they take a breath, the other person's restraints tighten. And essentially, if they breathe too much, the other person will just die. And it's not a matter of getting out, it's a matter of the other person's going to die no matter what, who can breathe the most. Which in the case of Steve and Nancy, since Amanda holds them
breath.
Since Amanda holds them both responsible for Barb, one of them has to pay. So it's definitely rigged.
And it's definitely Steve.
Unless he holds his breath and lets Nancy live.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
He would die. He would hold his breath so that Nancy could live. And then Nancy would be like, no! And then she'd start crying. And trying not to breathe, but she's hyperventilating.
Let's see. Once the game began, a highly sensitive pump measured breathing activity. Each time one of them took a breath, the clamps would close on their chest and thereby eventually crush the body. The only way for them to survive was the death of the other one. So it was actually a holding breath challenge, kind of. So. Yeah. Yeah, I think mine's a little bit better for Steve and Nancy. Whereas
I think that's a good one for Steve and Nancy.
If you breathe, it kills the other person.
The car one, though, we could take out a couple of people.
Yeah.
I don't understand how it works, though.
Okay. What was it called again?
Horsepower trap.
Horsepower trap. Okay.
So there's like people all around a car and a guy that's glued to it, and he has to pull a lever in 30 seconds or the car will kill everyone.
Let's see. Horsepower. Okay. Of course, it's no Camino.
Of course.
Their naked back glued to the seat. Jesus. Okay.
So the guy in the car, people's limbs are chained to it. Someone under the propped car who gets crushed. So the one getting crushed makes sense to me, but I don't
post on the car.
Get the other ones.
So give me just a second. Let me just mute you and I'll go watch the trap real quick, okay?
I mean, I could YouTube it too.
Okay, so let's see what's in the horsepower trap. This video may be inappropriate. I understand. So he's glued to the back. Got it. Sure. So so he literally just has to get out of his seat. Okay, well. Okay. Well, this sounds like a job for Ash.
But Ash already gave up his arm. It's not his turn.
But if Ash has the option to be glued to the seat or be one of the people that might get hit by the car, Ash is just like, listen, I got this. Just fuck it. Ash just gets glued to the seat, waits for it to dry, and then just immediately just rips his back skin off, pulls the lever, they're out of there.
Yeah, but I want people to die. We gotta get rid of people.
Oh, God.
Okay, we won't watch the whole thing. Let me pull the cameras back up. Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park? Was he in this? I don't know what he looks like. I know the name, but I don't know what he looks like. It's one of those times I'm like, yeah, he deserved it 100%. I have no idea if that was him or not. I have no idea what Chester Bennington even looks like. I live under a rock. So, while I agree, yes, Ash could very easily, with no hesitation, rip his own skin off.
Yeah.
People. I want people to die. Because
just imagine like Amanda watching Ash just like nonchalantly take his arm off, and she just removes him from the game. She's like, listen, you won, and just sends him away.
I would actually be okay with that. It removes him from being an easy,
because he would win. Ash wins Saw. It's just common sense.
The next Saw movie is going to be like Saw 23, Evil Dead.
Yeah, Ash is still here. Amanda's been trying for her entire life to kill Ash. Yeah, she just like extracts him. He just sees an open door and a naked body, and he's like, hell yeah. He goes through the door, and it was like a mannequin, and Amanda's just like, you won, get out. He's just like, call me, baby. His car's just waiting outside. Key's already in it. Just like, get out.
Confirmed. That was indeed Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park. Okay, yeah. So we'll just take Ash out. So now
Ash just lives. She just needs to get him out to get the rest of them to die.
So now the 4 trapped. We could pick really any 4 that we want. Who do I think is least likely to pull off their skin? Ace.
Yeah. Ace is like, I'll risk it.
Ace will be like, yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. I could do that. And then fails all of them.
I feel like David would be able to rip his own skin off.
I think David would too.
This might be an instance of Amanda forcing people into these positions.
No, I think Ace can confidently say that he would and then doesn't.
True.
So I think that would be a pretty easy one.
Ace is like, I can absolutely do this. And everybody's like very confident because Ace is confident. So people just volunteer to go in, they die.
David.
Yeah, David's like, I got this, no worries.
Leon. Or Jill. Or Bill.
Yeah, let's just get Jill, Leon, and Bill going under there with David. Well, this is fine. No need to trouble the civilians. I love how Michaela's just kind of like riding through all of this.
I know, just casually making it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is called Horsepower Trap. I might watch a Saw movie right after this. I'm in the mood now. You ever get in the mood for Saw?
Yes.
I meant that as a joke, but I know you're serious. The freezer. She's really in there too in the game.
Yep. So is Amanda's bed. Alright, so yeah, they all die. Ace doesn't even like get chucked through the window. Because like he's just got I imagine Ace has a hairy back.
Yeah. He just gets waxed.
Yeah.
Uh,
It doesn't even rip the skin off. And they're like, how did he die? How did he die? It's just his back hair is like a fucking baby's bottom right now on the back.
so who do we have alive right now? We have. Did we kill Jake? We didn't. Okay. So Jake, Nia, Jane, Nancy, Zarina, Felix, Elodie,
Michaela.
and Michaela are all still alive.
Can we put the list up so we don't miss them?
Yes. Okay, so Jake, Nia, Michaela, Zarina, Elodie, Felix,
Nancy.
Nancy.
Okay. Nancy.
Nancy. Okay, so that's not a lot. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Ash already won, obviously.
Yeah. Like, please leave.
Technically, Nancy won her game too.
She did. Do we want to just let her out then?
We could.
Okay, Nancy's out then. I feel like she's going to want to put Elodie and Felix against each other. Nia needs to get into some sort of gas trap. Just the paint fumes, you know?
Okay. So Elodie and Felix together, Nia in some sort of a gas trap. Jake. We do still need reverse bear traps.
We do. He would be the one with the bear trap since, you know, woods and stuff. Wait, finger trap, excuse me?
Yeah, I was just, from Spiral. Again, spoilers, everybody. Inspired by the harmless toy finger cuffs that children sometimes play with, this horrifying trap at Spiral finds a corrupt detective held captive in an abandoned warehouse, with each of his 10 fingers locked in a device that slowly rips them from his hands. Director Darren Lynn Bousman places his camera lovingly close to the victim's skin as it gradually stretches and then tears, making this trap one of the most difficult to watch in the franchise's history. How does he get out?
If the victim fails to rip off their fingers before the water makes contact with the exposed wires, they get electrocuted to death.
Oh, they didn't give me that detail.
So you have to pull your fingers off of your hand.
So I know you were thinking about Elodie and Felix being together, but and yeah, we could probably make up our own trap to go with this, but I do like that idea for Elodie because she's always stealing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she can't steal. She has no fingers. Maybe it's if she doesn't free her, if she frees herself, Felix dies. He gets electrocuted. But if she doesn't free herself, she gets electrocuted.
Okay.
And does she want to be responsible for more deaths?
Hmm. Like fingers or no fingers?
I don't think she could do it.
I don't think she could either.
I think Felix would be cheering her on.
Yeah.
I don't think she could do it, and I think she would die.
Yeah.
Does that mean Felix survives his game?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of a cop out for him, but
I mean, it was for Nancy, too.
yeah, but Felix didn't really have any option to like.
Oh, he didn't get tested. You're right.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, we can leave him. Um, what other traps are there? What's Brazen Bull? I don't remember this. Oh, 3D. Okay, that's a 3. The Harrowing Brazen Bull trap from Saw 3D tops both of those in terms of sheer insanity. In this trap, a female victim is roasted alive in a giant bovine-shaped oven while her husband is forced to insert metal hooks through his pectoral muscles in a doomed attempt to save her. So she's being cooked alive while her husband has to pierce his chest. They do a terrible job of explaining these traps in this
Yeah.
article. 10 most brutal Saw traps. Blind and mute. Saw 4. 2 men with collars that chain them to a device between them. One of the men has his eyes sewn shut. The other has his mouth sewn shut. On the back of the collars the men wear is the key to free each other. For both of them to survive, you must work together as soon as the trap is activated by the panicking men pulling on their chain. Once activated, their chains begin being pulled towards the device in the center of the room, which would presumably break their neck. But the men fight to the death for the keys before that happens.
I could see Felix getting the pendulum trap.
Which one's the pendulum? I know it's based off Edgar Allan Poe, but like...
So he gets put on a table, and there is a big blade that swings back and forth, and it slowly lowers over time. He's kind of like in a cross shape or a position,
Like
and he has to put his fingers underneath a block and pretty much break all the bones in his hand in order for the pendulum to stop. So, you know, for somebody that's an architect, your hands are kind of important.
You're drawing a lot. Yeah, that's true. Could he do it?
I think he could.
You think he'd survive it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me just note him so we don't forget like what trap we put him in. Okay. So Jake, Mila, Michaela, and Zarina. You know what? 4 survivors, 4 bear traps.
Yeah, that works.
And we could roll for it. We could do RNG just like the game.
God. Okay. Are we rolling 1 and 4? We're just rolling 1 and 4.
Like if you get a 1 or a 4, they live.
Like rolling a d4 and...
Yeah, I figured rolling a d4, but...
Okay. Do you want to position them? I'll roll the d4.
Are we only going to kill off one of them?
How many times do you want me to roll the d4? Do you want me to roll it 4 times? And if it doesn't... if I don't get 1 through 4...
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me... Okay, you don't look at the Google sheet, okay?
Okay.
If you can put something in front of it.
There you go. I just put the pig picture back in.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll a number for each of them and put it next to them. Okay.
Okay.
And then do we want it so that if you match the number they live, or
They
if you
die.
match the number they die? Which would you prefer?
They die.
If you match?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if anybody is in my chat that is not in Dino's chat
No spoilers.
and wants to watch this.
I'm done rolling. So
Okay.
we will start with Jake if you'd like to roll. And likewise, if anybody wants to watch Zen roll, that is her channel.
Okay. So rolling a d4 now. Here we go. 3.
All right. You said if they match, they die, right?
Yes.
Okay. Jake has survived.
Are you ready for the next one?
I am ready.
1.
Nia has survived. I'm ready.
4.
Michaela has died.
Last one.
Mm-hmm.
4.
Zarina has survived.
Nice.
As it should have been, rolling a d4. 1 and 4 have died. So Jake, Nia, and Zarina, let me add them to the list and then we can recap. I just removed Claudette, Adam, Yui, and Kate from up here because they're just non-factors.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Amanda has gone out to get some people to send through their tests. Claude, Adam, Kate, and Yui haven't done shit to anybody, so they're fine. Also, it's questionable whether or not Amanda would be able to kick Yui's ass. So our first victim is Meg. She's put in the an hourglass, and she has to remove her own foot, or be suffocated. If she doesn't remove her foot, she suffocates. She dies. So everybody else wakes up in a room except for Quentin, who is still sleeping, and they are set up to play a game where the back of the room opens up and there's like a big meat grinder. And essentially, there's enough slack where one person at a time can go grab a key and undo their shackles. So theoretically, everybody can make it out alive here. But unfortunately, after they work all this stuff out, because Zarina's been studying the Jigsaw Killer for ages, and is like, dude, if we just follow the rules, we'll be fine. He decided to start on the right-hand side and make their way down since Quentin's still sleeping on the left. But Yunjin's like, fuck that shit. I want to be out of here. And goes ahead and pulls, which makes Dwight panic. So everybody's in kind of a run for themselves. So obviously Quentin goes in the grinder because he's sleeping. He had no chance. And then the weakest members of the party, Cheryl, Fung, and Lori, get dragged in. Nancy almost gets dragged in, but Steve holds on to her and keeps her from dying. So after that, they walk into another room, and it says that they need a volunteer. And everybody assumes that whoever volunteers is going to be killed. So Bill immediately volunteers to be the man.
Our hero.
Yeah. Turns out it's a shotgun carousel. So Bill won the lottery on that one. He has to make a decision to shoot somebody with shotguns until the wait has been satisfied, and Tap just volunteers. He's like, listen, I'm old. I'm not going to make it out of here anyway. Take me. And, I'm also pretty heavy. I got a bulletproof vest on and shit, which, it doesn't stop the shotgun, but it's not enough.
For the head.
Yeah. So Bill listens carefully to everybody's backstories And the real jump out of all the backstories would be Yunjin, who essentially helped a serial killer rise to power and kind of ignored the signs there.
Yeah,
and her only
pay for her.
yeah, her only argument was, no, you can't do that. And it's, as it turns out, yeah, he can. So down she goes, but it's still not enough. So Bill's like, okay, well, clearly Dwight's next because he fucking drugged his boss and sent him into a bunch of hallucinations. So he takes down Dwight. Still not enough. So he's like, okay. Jeff did try to off himself before, and he is a very hefty boy. So hopefully that'll be enough for the scale, and it was. They walk into the next one, and, you know, the tape recorder starts going about the pound of flesh and how everybody deserves it. Ash just cuts his arm off, drops it on the scale, wraps the belt around it, and says, you guys owe me one. Amanda at this point is watching the cameras going, motherfucker! Moves on to the next one, which is specifically designed for Steve and Nancy. And it's the oxygen crusher. Essentially, whoever, if you breathe, the other person is slowly crushed. Steve simply holds his breath and refuses to breathe. And, you know, he's worked out a lot. He's a sporty person, so he is able to hold his breath a lot longer. And Nancy, unfortunately, kills Steve by simply breathing, and Steve refusing to breathe because it's Steve. This is how he dies every time.
Being a hero.
Every goddamn time.
We really do love Steve, don't we?
We do. We think very highly of him. But anyway, Nancy gets let go because, you know, she passed her test of killing Steve.
Of murder.
And once again, another person dies because Nancy just sat there and was breathing. So anyway, the next one is the horsepower trap, and it's essentially one person gets glued to the back of the seat, and they have to pull themselves off and pull a lever, or they kill 4 other people. Now, initially, everybody's just thinking, oh yes, Ash is going to do this. But unfortunately, as they're making their way into the room, a door opened and a naked body appeared, and Ash, like a bug to a bug zapper, flew into the light, and the door shut behind him. It was just a naked mannequin, and Amanda said, you won, get out. And he's just like, thanks, babe, call me later. And she's just like, oh my fucking God. She just wants him gone, because how is she gonna get him out of here? Like, there's just no way. She knows how Evil Dead works. He's just gonna come back as a more obnoxious Ash later. There's just not enough shotgun shells for that. So she sends him on his way. Ace is like, I can absolutely do this. As it turns out, Ace can absolutely not do this. And David, Jill, Leon, and Bill, who were very confident that Ace could do it, since Ace was very confident that he could do it, died as a result. Ace still somehow died, even though he never actually left the driver's seat, but his entire back was waxed. No skin even came off. It was just like a baby's bottom. Anyway, so we move on, and the next one is designed specifically for Elodie and Felix, and it's essentially Elodie needs to pull her fingers out of the trap and survive and make Felix die, or leave her fingers in there and, you know, Felix can live. And, you know, Felix is rooting for her, but Elodie can't whip her fingers out of there. So Felix gets to move on to the next trap because he didn't really get to do anything. So he goes to the Pendulum Trap, and he pretty much has to have his entire hands crushed under the mallets in order to stop the pendulum from cutting into him. And he goes ahead and does that and ends his career as an architect, which is great because he didn't feel like he deserved it anyway, so he gets to leave. The final 4, Jake, Nia, Michaela, and Zarina, get the reverse bear traps. And Nia is able to Irvin evade around and find the key. Zarina already had a hunch. Jake, we don't really know what Jake does. He's hot now. He just
survivalist.
Yeah. We
Jake just looks hot and lives.
yeah, he leveled up recently.
He smolders. And Amanda hands him the key.
Yeah. The bear trap just melts off of him. Meanwhile, Michaela died. There's no witchcraft for this shit. And that's how it goes. Nobody kills Amanda because, I mean, Amanda really only dies because, you know, she got real jealous, and
Yeah.
none of these people have met John, so.
We can't kill her for our sequels. We have to have just as many as the Saw franchise.
Yep.
Um,
She has to have at least 2 more sequels. And then it's just downhill from there. Which, if they actually follow through on pairing up with Spiral, we might actually get some more Saw shit.
Good. We are supposed. The next tome is actually rumored to be Saw themed, by the way, for Dead by Daylight. So that's something to look forward to. There are supposed to be pig and tap cosmetics in the Rift when it comes out.
That's great. Tap just really did not get that much time. I don't know if the actor decided to peace out or if they just decided not to go through it. Although apparently the video game actually follows Tap more. I just haven't been able to watch it.
I didn't know there was a video game.
There is. It's like a Telltale game.
I love that.
But I don't think it's on Steam because I looked because I was like, oh, I could play that. It's much easier to make those decisions when you're just on the controller side.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, go ahead and whip those fingers right off.
I'm going to look into that.
So, yeah, Amanda is alive. She's out there. Never inviting Ash back again, so.
He is forever safe.
Yeah, he might deserve to be in there over and over and over again. Like, she can come up with a new crime each and every time, but she's never inviting him back. Bean, what are you doing? Are you getting in trouble? Don't look at me like that. She had her head in a pizza box. It's like, listen, it's empty, but still.
There was once pizza there.
Yeah. Just
all right.
Huffing it.
I'm going to get a raid up and rolling.
Well, we got to decide who the next killer is.
Oh, that's right. Forgot.
Which we have next week, the 6th and 7th, I will actually be out of town. And the 13th, which is my birthday in December, I would like to have Pyramid Head.
We can absolutely have Pyramid Head for your birthday. I'm fine with that.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so the next Monday.
Let's see, who do we have left? Got it. Ugh.
We haven't done Trickster yet, have we?
No, because we're waiting for his tome to finish.
That's true.
Got it.
Is it Cannibal or Leatherface? Or not Cannibal or Hellraiser?
We also have Nemesis. Although if we do Pinhead, apparently that's on Amazon Prime, so we could actually have a watch party.
Ooh, okay.
So
I vote Hellraiser.
Yes, my birthday is the 13th of December.
Just because it's Black Friday week, I'm swamped at work and I don't want to have to do too much research.
Okay.
And Resident Evil would be a lot. So my vote's between Leatherface and Pinhead.
Let's do Pinhead and we'll just have a watch party because we can just do a Prime watch party like Saturday night.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, my birthday is December 13th, which we will be doing Pyramid Head, but next week we will do Pinhead, and then I have the early portion of that week off. I think I'm actually going to be out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm just not going to stream that week, and I'll be back for my birthday. So.
Opinion on pineapple on pizza. I love it. It's my favorite topping. Welcome, Neon Colton.
Ew.
Zen hates pineapple pizza.
To be fair,
But
I
that's
hate
fine.
everything on pizza other than the sauce and the cheese.
That's true. But it works out because when we have pizzas together, me and Hellwagon eat the pineapple, you and Alex eat the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Works out. So.